All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's Pastor Dowell. I want to talk to you about this. It's been in my heart, been in my mind, been in my spirit for quite some time now. I want to talk to you about the return of U.S. debtors' prisons. Now, according to the Constitution of the United States of America, people cannot be thrown in jail based on their inability to be able to pay fines and levies and charges that are against them. Um, and I'll give you an example. Let's say if you have an outstanding warrant or whatever it is, what do? They fine you, right? Or your inability to be able to pay an exorbitant fee because of a traffic ticket. You know what I mean? If you get pulled over by the state, especially in Tennessee, that's $250 smackaroos. That's not including the charges that will be tacked onto you when you get points on your license, and then your insurance rates go up. And remember what Pastor Dowell's always told y'all in the past. The government can't produce nothing. They can only take, and they take from the citizens through taxation without representation, because the people who allegedly are supposed to be representing us, they're not representing the best interests of the people. And of course, you know, just the other day I posted a video in reference to the imprisonment of the police officer that shot Walter Scott. And of course, what was one reason why Walter Scott was running away? Well, he was running away because, watch this, outstanding warrant because of what? His inability to be able to pay child support. How in the world can someone in this particular environment right here pay child support when the jobs are dismal? Now, I understand that the government is telling us that the jobs market is looking good, looking well, but I can tell you what, look at the reality of it. Just look around you. The only jobs that are available are service sector jobs. There's not too many of these jobs available in factories where you're making $25, $30, $35 an hour. And of course, in this society and environment we're living in now, it takes every bit of but two incomes just in order to keep your home afloat, if you're going to continue to keep living the way that the people in this world try to sell you the way you should be living, which is the American dream. Of course, now, you know just as well as I do, the American dream has become the American nightmare. And when you're trying to live this life and play this game the way that they want you to play it, you have to understand they want to keep you in debt. They want to keep you in debt because the borrower is a servant to the lender. The borrower is a slave to the lender. And so any way that they can continue to keep you ensnared, to keep that cloud of debt over you, or that fear of you actually being thrown in prison, is becoming a reality. Well, not only do we have debtors' prisons that is against the Constitution of the United States of America that's in place right now because of people's inability to be able to pay these exorbitant fines. Now, through whether it be child support or traffic tickets or parking tickets or whatever it may be, now pretty soon this country, because they have no solutions, America doesn't have the stomach to actually balance the budget, because if they did have the stomach to balance the budget, it will cause a lot of pain. And in this country right here, when people are not looking for pain, they're looking for convenience. And of course, the solution that the government has is to continue to keep kicking the can down the road, keep you as indentured servants to the actual federal government, to where everybody in America, whether you understand it, comprehend it or not, is like some $160,000 in hot because of the national debt, sitting at $22 trillion, which is never going to be paid. So going from the greatest creditor nation to the greater debtor nation, we're watching nations opt out of the dollar. Soon the world is not going to be the world's reserve currency because they have already downgraded it. I guess this is my economic perspective and outlook. That's why I continue to keep screaming and hollering from the top of my lungs to get out of debt, because pretty soon they're going to have the Gestapo to come and be looking for you. The student loans will never, ever be paid back. And of course, the way they get student loans is if you're working on a job and if you're expecting an income tax return, you're not going to get it, because they're going to take that income tax return, because there's a web that the system is intertwined. So we as a people have got to change the way that they have taught us to live. Well, you've got to. You do not have to live under the debt of slavery because you can't control your own individual lust. You have to learn how to live simple within your means. And I promise you this, if you do that, you'll be a hell of a lot more happier. Because if you think that stuff will buy you happiness, think about it. When was the time you actually went out and bought a car and you thought you was going to be happy, and 6 months later the newest done wore off and all it is just another piece of hunk of iron going down the road, transportation to get you to and fro, and that's it. That's it. So we have to learn self-control, because if you think for 1 minute that our government is for us in any way, shape, fashion, or form, you are deceived. You are greatly deceived. And even the churches today are putting ATMs in the sanctuary so they can try to do whatever they can to get money out of your bank account into their hands, into the coffer's hands. And what do you get for it in return? A feel-good sermon, nothing that's actually going to enhance your life and or your conditions, and you find yourself still sitting in the same old place that you've always been. So somebody's got to have a message of change that's going to change all of us as individuals, providing that we're willing to suffer the pain. You're going to have to end up getting your mind squared to think that, you know what, I'm going to have to suffer this pain right now and some loss right now in order to be able to live like no other. Because see, to live like an average American is to be in debt to the government, be in debt to the corporations. But to live like no other is not to owe them anything. So that way they won't have any tentacles in the octopus hands to try to come and take anything away from you that you've worked so hard for. The American dream is the nightmare. There's no White House with a picket fence and a dog. It isn't. All it is darkness and gloom. And if you want to change the way you're doing things, pay attention to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm talking about. And if you want to know more about this, go join my Pateron channel. Now, I'm away from home right now, and I'm in another state. But if you look down in the description below on my previous videos, you'll see how to join my Pateron channel, where we give you exclusive information. And of course, I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube demonetizes every single video that I put up. I don't care what it is. And then about 4 or 5 days later, they decide to monetize it. So what's the big deal? So I'm just putting out information on YouTube, because the majority of the true information that I have, it's over on Pateron. That's the stuff that's going to stick. So over on YouTube, I'm not casting my pearls before swine and giving that which is set apart or holy unto dogs. Because, you know, even the trolls, I mean, the people are just utterly amazing, but you're going to have those people. But if you're really truly interested in growing in grace, growing in knowledge, growing in truth, changing the way life is for you, then go over there and check out my Pateron channel, to where you can get a whole lot more information. I've been extremely busy this year, but the whole ideal is to get you free, is to get you free. And anybody out there who's not teaching about the truth that will set you free, you need to X them out of your life, get them out of your conscience, get them out of your mind. You don't want anything to do with these people, because these people are part of the problem that have no solutions for you. And these are the people that are making money off your backs and keeping you indentured servants. So think about what I say, consider what I say, listen to what I say, and then judge the fruit of what I'm saying. And you'll find out that things are a hell of a lot better when you do it that way. Well, I want you all to really, truly consider making changes, consider downsizing, so you can live like no others. We need this in the day and time and hour we're coming in. And of course, many of you see the lewdness, the immorality of society. You don't want your children growing up in these school systems. I mean, it's bad what society is trying to do. They're trying their best to make a demonic people, basically. And so you've got to get out of the public food system. You've got to. If you love your children, not kids. A kid is a goat. If you love your children, you will come out. And live simple, so that you can really truly have a peace of mind, a life that's stress-free, and you'll be able to enjoy your time here on this earth, especially with your family, and rearing and raising your children in the way that you want. Because to leave it up to this government, only a fool would trust their children being raised by someone else.